All right, and then for my sake, and for whoever is going to jump on, you guys mind just going around reintroducing everybody? We'll catch up on what happened in the story and where we are, and then we will embark on a new journey.
Yo.
My name is Adam, and here to Wesley.
Yes.
Who's the player who has more knowledge of all things universal than anyone else.
Anybody else? He's the smartest, and he lets them know it.
Yep.
All right.
I'm Alicia, and today I will be playing the part.
Heller high.
Heller high. I'm a halfling wizard.
Anything else about you?
I'm
A jock. You want to be a jock.
I want to be.
On your way.
I am Calric. I'm the Dragonborn Ranger.
What is that supposed to pronounce? Picaro,
But we realize she's a girl, so
Oh, okay.
It's like Raquel. It's
Yeah.
So Daniel and Danielle.
Like Michelle.
Val.
Well, your name's Daniel, though, right?
I could have made for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't have much personality beyond the fact that I'm a raging alcoholic.
That's a real life story.
Not method acting. Not method acting, yeah.
Yeah.
She just-
That's a big time. It's
She
all
just-
hers.
She just never breaks character. She's actually normal in real life.
Such a method actor.
But once we started playing this, she's like, what is it that, the guy who did There Will Be Blood, the butcher in King of New York. Daniel Day-Lewis, she's like that guy.
I'm
Always choosing character. Yeah, pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Pleasure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that killed him, of course. So
We both basically know that.
Yeah,
Short, long,
Same.
short.
Yeah.
Elric is Heath Ledger.
if you kill Rick, Heath Ledger.
Except I've got Bill. And Dragonborn.
My character name is Ziga, so I'm from Cebu. And
Write this
I'm
down.
a noble that left my family for living inside the casino and, doing bodyguard stuff because why not? And then, I don't know, saving the world. I'm in love with a half goblin, half gnome girl of another noble family. And my love story.
Mhm. Yeah, Lord Foxmort.
I am Lord Foxmore, and I'm like feather with it.
Mm-hmm.
She's a half-orc barbarian. Yes, half-orc barbarian who, in her gentle spirit, she's not the brightest. She doesn't particularly like violence, but she has a very short temper and easily gets into a rage. So,
Mm-hmm.
she sometimes has guilty feelings afterwards. But
You're a method actor
she's
too,
starting to
huh?
embrace it a little bit. She's starting to embrace her rage. Yeah.
So I do have one question which will be relevant, which is, does anybody have like affiliations with other like organizations in like the world? So I know some people can set it up to where they are like, whatever their god is and stuff like that, or these types are the church they relate to.
Because we're going to die and you want to know where
Yeah, where we should bury you pretty much after this game today.
Wait, is this something that we've already chosen? Or is it?
It could be or it might not be. It just depends.
Is it, so you want our belief? Or just the organization we can be part of?
You can add it in your notes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
nobody has
For the
anything?
sake of simplicity.
Nas? Okay, so nobody has a specific... I think you might, being a cleric. Oh, you haven't taken it yet. Okay.
Background?
That's okay.
It's under notes. It says organizations. They can like add it.
Organizations? Oh yeah, no, it's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no, things to do again? Wait,
And a sage.
the sage
researcher.
Wait, that was not good.
Mhm. Sage researcher.
And then there's that village I saved that I'm a folk hero for. I guess that would be like an organization. They probably have Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce.
They're doing
Doing good here, guys.
Okay, so I have
I'm
a
a
kind of
folk
extended family of crazy people because they breed, and I guess I also work in a casino, so maybe a casino perception or something.
Yeah. Alright, so the casino org. Yeah, I think that can work. Okay. I'm just trying to get some facts here. Casino team, alright. And then Feather Widget. What was your potential pals?
Oh, that village I saved from the Minotaur or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a Chamber of Commerce, but that city loves me. I'm their hero.
What's the name of that city?
Leaf Willow.
Leaf Willow.
Was this?
Okay. And then,
Disciple of Life.
and then your name is Wexley. Wexley. Sorry, many apologies. Disciple of Life, and that's part of the Church of Life? We'll just say yeah. This is our...
domain.
It's like Bob Ross says, this is our little world. We can do whatever we want. Chaos. Okay, so to catch you up on the story so far, you guys started all the way back in a few towns, in the town of Red Lark, I think. Yeah, in the area in the vicinity of Red Lark, in one of the towns there, in the Desert Valley, which is a massive, massive valley. Things have been going amiss in this area. There's been some funky events and occurrences, some very strange happenings. When you first got to the town, you found like a necromancer causing up some strange trouble, and some other kind of weird events were going on in the area. So after a bit of exploration, you found that a group of delegates that you had been expecting or had been expected in town suddenly went missing. And being the brave and powerful souls that you are, you decided to go search for these delegates. So you searched up from the original town that you were in, all the way up to... I don't remember. Yeah, Red Larch was the original town. Go me for remembering that. That's awesome. I am amazing. Thank you. Yes, that's bigger applause. Much obliged. Up to Westbridge and to the north. So then in Westbridge, you found some count to the east of that, you found this strange tower where the delegates were reported to have last been seen. Once you got there, you went on a manicore hunt. You kind of ingratiated yourselves with the knives there, went on a manicore hunt, killed a manicore, left its mate mourning out in the middle of that kind of valley that this tower overlooks. Yes, very good. And then from there, you went to an event, like their kind of big feast after they killed the manicore, only to kind of... Well, yeah.
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers. But then, so then you guys found that once you arrived there, or once you started at the speech, something was going on with the drinks. People were getting very drunk very quickly. That in turn made certain people get a little antagonistic and start.
It was not antagonistic.
Just kidding.
I was just frank.
She's honest.
Yeah, she's very honest. She's very honest. So then that kind of ended that night in terms of the dinner. You went back to your rooms, and then a few people stole into your room to try to take you all out in your sleep, or to at least incapacitate you. And now you are in your room. There are 3 kind of corpses of the people who just tried to attack you. I think one of them had kind of gotten his way out the door a little bit. So you're kind of in this little circular room, bunk beds all around you. Your team was in various beds, sleeping.
Everybody's just beaten now.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's ripped. All your, at least current attackers are ripped. So then there's kind of a hallway that circles around this. So it's kind of like this tower with a number of different tiers. There's a hallway that circles around your little bedroom in the center. And there's some stairs probably to the left, like to the left side outside of the door. Two of the attackers are kind of wearing these cloaks. They're wearing these kind of like feathery cloaks with lots of like black.
Did you try to loot
these types of fools? Huh?
Did you try to loot the attackers' corpses?
I don't remember if you tried to loot their corpses.
So Let's see.
What's loot now?
To be sure.
10%.
Alright, so you guys loot their corpses. You find these robes, so you kind of have the robes of a Howling Hatred priest or initiate. So you have these kind of like feathered.
How many
Yeah.
were like?
Yeah.
5 people?
So yeah, you have 5. There's three sets of robes. So you have these robes of the Howling Hatred priest. You don't see them carrying any particular weapons of value, except for these kind of like very simple knives they were using to attack you all with. And let me see. I gotta get my own dice.
That's not values. Do you know how much they cost on the black market?
Yeah, I mean, you can harvest those. Let me grab my dice wherever they are, which is not.
You want mines?
I should get my own because I feel like Robbie, you should get my dice. Here we go.
Yes, from the man as well. No such thing. No such thing.
I'm pretty
Alright.
sure there is.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
There you are.
Thank you.
Oh, dollar share.
Oh yeah, we got a lot. I got a lot in here
I
too.
have a bunch of dice.
Oh, and how many of the chips did you have?
Oh, I think I had 2 or 3.
Okay, let's.
You did it.
Oh yeah, okay,
I played my character a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I think it was 2.
That's
That's on
big.
video.
Not even one.
Okay.
Okay, I still have that aluminum ring and silver ring.
So I got a bunch of dice here in case you all need them. You have an aluminum ring. Yeah, you have those rings.
You want the dice?
Did you ever end up attuning to them, or did we tell you what they did yet?
Good caption.
Thanks.
Alright, so which...
Just pop the dome.
Let me just confirm. So you have, and I think I wrote them down here, so I'll find out. So who had the magic rings? Chase had one.
You have one and I did too.
Oh, yes.
Quickly, you look a little different today.
Get some bling rings.
Oh.
You turned into a totally different person.
Yes, I put that simpleton to bed.
It's true, he's very sleepy. Also, feel free to grab however many of these you have.
Oh, Mr. Wexley, I do think you slept
I'm about to take one. I might have
Okay.
two, but I'm gonna err on the side of not having more than I actually have.
think I have one.
It's good. I studied those creatures enough and do not need to see them in person.
Any? No,
With
not
those
sure.
white griffins.
I'm not against having some, but.
Well, you can write them up at the top of your character sheet or in like one of the notes sections at the end of the game. Okay, so you have attuned to your rings. I think it's been long enough. One of them is a ring of protection, so it adds 1 AC. Plus 1 AC. The other is more powerful, and you do not know what it does yet.
Okay.
So you have not finished tuning. That will probably be another long rest.
So we didn't decide against the books. Did they do anything?
Oh yeah, so there's 3 cloaks. They're just normal clothes, just ceremonial gear. They're kind of the 2 bodies are like lying, 2 in the room, 1 out in the hallway, and you kind of hear some like steps and like hurried footsteps up above you. So like,
If nothing else, we could put these on and pretend to be part of this collision.
That's actually a really good idea.
I was thinking that.
Is there enough for all of us?
I didn't know, but
You're
I
small.
think they're too. Yeah, they're too small. Can the cloak fit on a half orc?
Our
Barbarian?
are pretty tall.
Yeah, that's
Half
why I'm
orcs?
asking.
We're like,
If I try to put
so
the cloak on.
it's a kind of a squeeze, but you can maybe squeeze into it very carefully.
Okay.
But it'll be like bulging at the seams. Like your arms will be like puffing out the
That's
grab-
him walking out.
Can I grab Quinoa and put her on top of Featherweight's shoulders and try and like...
stack them up.
also quite tall!
Okay, rather than be like
How
9 feet
tall am
tall.
Okay,
I'm like
I'll put one on.
Oh shit.
And,
Okay, so you put one of the robes on, you put the things on. You kind of look a little funky, but maybe passable if you roll well.
And I'm looking outside, just barely looking to see
Yeah.
what's happening.
So you look outside. You look outside the door. as you stick your head out, you hear the sounds become louder, so you hear more like shouting kind of voices. Some of it seems like the natural sounds of just a tower full of people, but other than sort of are getting louder as you put your head out the door. And on either side, so yeah, there's a body still sitting right outside of the door on the right, and you still see that. Okay, so you take the body inside. Okay, so you pull the body inside. Those kind of sounds get a little bit louder, and you can start hearing some distinct voices being like, you know, where are those other three? Have they done their work yet?
Can I push the body outside the window or hide them in the apartment?
The apartment's in the center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the apartment's in the center. There's no windows, so it's like the apartment and the hallway outside of it has windows. So yeah, you can put someone in the bed.
I'll quickly put one of them in the bed.
So you all put them in the bed, and then you're the only one that has the clothes, right?
I have the cloak on.
You have the cloak on too. Okay.
The last cloak on.
Yeah. What? No.
Do you
I'm
want to
gonna
carry that?
turn and be like, it's done.
So you go and stick your head out and say it's done.
I'm just gonna say that. Who has the highest?
So roll deception for me.
Deception.
I think you were going to
Well,
chase.
she already said it.
Who? Chess character?
11.
So they say, whose voice is that, eh? Is that you, Bill?
Yeah, it's me. What about it?
Then you hear kind of this whispering, I don't think that's Bill. Something's off.
I hear them. I'm already whispering. It's definitely me, Bill.
Okay, I'm saying.
So they say, okay, no. And then you hear them kind of like scuffle, raise the alarm. I think they're... And then
Okay,
you hear the steps start going.
they're coming towards us.
No, they're running away to raise the alarm.
I made sure they didn't come into the room, you guys.
Let's chase
So they were pretty close to the door, but they just like
Okay,
turned
how
tail.
many were there?
Can we call the bird?
There's two of them.
Okay, let's attack. I'm just going out and
Mm-hmm.
launching my javelin at whatever they are.
So you run out, so you spin out of the door and roll on attack roll.
Couldn't have taken a rest or something first.
I'm taking a short rest while I'm launching my javelin. Can we cut off the long one?
I want to try and shoot her with my crossbow.
Okay, so there's one on the left, one on the right. You see them. They're kind of wearing similar robes, but they don't seem as like nice and extravagant as the.
Those are 19 hits.
So a 19 hits.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it will.
Okay. I'm launching my damage then, which is 8.
Okay, so this guy, the javelin hits one of these guys in the shoulder. You hear him like scream and tumble forward, and he looks like his hands are raised. He's not trying to fight back, so he's just screaming with this kind of thing in his shoulder. But the walls are thick enough where you can tell that maybe someone could hear something if they were maybe just right by the stairs. But he's oh my gosh! And then you're taking a shot at the same guy or the other one. 21, and then are you doing the same guy that's on the ground with the javelin in his shoulder, or the other one? Okay, so take a shot, 21, and then roll your damage.
3.
Your arrow clips the other guy. He kind of grunts and like leans against the wall, and he's still kind of limping forward. They turn and say, "Oh, please, sir, we're just the janitors here. We don't know what's going on."
I say let's catch them and enter doing an interrogation of inside the room.
Okay.
Can I open the window and try to whistle to the birds that we were riding on? The griffins?
So they're way up, like
We have window,
like 2 or 3 more stories. So in the room there's no window. In the hallway there are these very thin, kind of like square windows where you wouldn't be able to get out.
Okay, so I'm grabbing the guy and trying to cover his mouth so he won't cry, and dragging him back to the room. We'll have more people in
So
the
like this guy's like
beds right now.
this guy's like crying as you're dragging him back. He's like writing he has like a note that he like tries to give you for like one of his like relatives.
Okay.
He's freaking out.
So I have a note in my In my
In your inventory.
in my inventory.
Yeah.
Quest.
Of a relic.
His family.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. This is yeah.
He
You'll
didn't
have
believe me when I told him I was Bill.
Wallace's final love note
Okay.
in your inventory.
Wallace's.
We should go in and see if the guy.
And you haven't read it yet, so it's unopened. You see it has like a little wax stamp on top of it. But yeah, if you do read it, you can.
I'll read it later
Okay.
when we're out of winter. Never again.
Yeah. So then, he's shouting, and this is the guy with like the spear. The other one with the arrow is kind of leaning against the wall, but he's a little bit more docile, or he's just not as like writhing around in pain.
I into the room, like dragging the guy out. I want to like put my hood down and just be like, why didn't you just believe me when I told you that I was Bill? You would have avoided this.
He said, "We don't know, ma'am. They just told us we'd be cleaning up a mess. I'm just here to do my job."
Well, you definitely don't look like a soldier, that's for sure.
No, ma'am. I never could pass the academy.
Seems legit.
Okay, explain to us what the academy is, so we can laugh at you.
So he says, "Well, I never was in this. It was going to be a soldier for the kingdom. These folks are different types. A bit funky, you might say, but so work is work, and when there's people, there's going to be shit, and there's going to be sheets to clean. So that's why I'm here."
Who told you you'd be cleaning up a mess?
Gentlemen, actually the lady, I believe, who has been running these feasts. I believe it's Samara, if I'm not mistaken.
The lady who
So, the lady? I thought that was a
Isn't
guy.
there like the lady who like met us when
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yes.
yeah, bitch.
I will enter it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Is it Samara? Yes. Savra. Yeah.
So she's the second.
Sabra. Yeah.
I didn't want to have these
They're whatever you want.
I'm
We'll
getting back my dragon.
Okay. So. Oh, and he's the blood starts to like really pour, and you see him kind of like struggling to stay conscious.
Okay, I'm doing first aid on it.
Could you help him?
So we won't die.
As you give him first aid, that's very nice. Give me a healing check.
I think I have medicine, so.
I think I got 9.
Yeah, I'll use my spare the dying cantrip on him. So
Okay, spare the dying. So he's like fumbling with some like tape and some like rope, and he's trying to tie his arm off, and you're just like,
Step aside.
Oh, it would have been. I
So
had
the-
just one, I would have been a 10.
Oh well, that would have been successful, but unfortunately, it was a little too late.
Let's try this.
So he, and the wound closes. It still is bleeding a little bit, but it's not kind of at a life-threatening level. The guy with the arrow on his shoulder seems to be a bit more stable, but they're both kind of like looking around, a little freaked out, but alive. And
I think he meant the bed. One of the bed.
with one of the other dead guys, or with an empty bed?
There's plenty of beds.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
one of
checking.
the empty ones.
Patched up. Well, would Cyberpunk is dead.
Don't ask me, sir. I'm just what you call the help here, sir. I don't, she's kind of they're a strange bunch here, like to keep some of their things secret. I had to sign NDAs myself, sir. So I can't really share that without much permission, sir.
You want more arrows?
Yeah.
What's that? You want more arrows? He's like, well, no, sir, but,
I have a javelin, just a little bit red on the top. I can use it again.
he kind of like looks around and now kind of realizing what he's saying, and he's like, well, I believe there's something going on in the valley over the next few days. Some folks that came through, they're trying to keep it very hush-hush. Us folks, we don't know much beyond the fact that there's more food on the tables and more often visits to the outhouse to clean up.
Have you ever been to the dungeons to clean up?
Well, this tower doesn't really have dungeons. It's more of a stable. But some of my friends that work at a different facility say there are a few more cells in which to clean.
Different facility? Where is it?
It's all hush hush, sir. But I think somewhere in that valley is where we'll usually see them for the
Well, the
conferences.
mountains,
So,
Ava, could you specify which
At one
valley?
point we
So,
discovered
so just
an
to-
arch,
Mhm.
and the wind would go through, and that would kind of point us to the other side of the
Yeah,
valley.
like, is that the valley?
So you guys, I don't know if you remember this, but yeah. So this tower is way up at the top here. Let me see if I have the picture. If I don't, we're screwed. I'm just kidding. It's all failed. Campaign is completely over.
You guys win!
And
Yeah.
all right, here we go. The Stunning Valley. So yeah, so you're up here at the tower, up on the top left. I don't lose all this paper. Oh my gosh. You're up here on the tower, the top left. It's kind of this winding valley where that arch was, and then you see it kind of wise out. So you're up here at this tower, deep valley, kind of a tunnel, kind of digging into like some cliffs, and then down towards the south of that Manticore, and that the Manticore fight was where that arch is. And the arch is kind of standing between this tower where you're at and that kind of more narrower gully that's kind of disappearing away.
So that's what he's talking about. Could you specify where this is? Can you pay him? Let's pay him.
Well, I don't know.
What do you want to pay him?
I'm very strong.
Well, ma'am, I don't rightly know. It's these are silent types, and we're just the help. They just tell us. Well, I'd say Samara and that gentleman who sits at the top of the tower, they run all the, that's my manager's manager, I report directly to Samara, but, she reports directly to that kind gentleman up top.
I have a good rapport with that gentleman, so...
Okay. So where does Samara sit and when does she sit?
They say,
I don't... Just to keep her.
you gonna be walking alone to your car later? No, so he says, well, Samara is usually working with the stables downstairs, so that's on that kind of basement floor. So you guys are on the second or third floor. I think on the third floor. The second floor is kind of that dining room. First floor is the entry with a bunch of guards, and then down below it is stables where they would have all the griffins and stuff, like kind of stabled and stuff. And at the very top, which I think is 2 floors up, you have one floor of just more rooms above you. On the 4th and the 5th floor is that guy's office, and then after that the roof. So yeah.
The office is where we talked to them with us missions ago.
Yeah, that's kind of the place with that, like with the little telescope and a few other things.
I think we should go explore some the stables.
The only thing is I have to get a lot more clothes to get there.
So, if you remember, I got a bunch of griffins nests.
So
So
you have a
I'm
bunch of the
asking the
harnesses,
guy-
right?
Sorry?
You have a bunch of the harnesses with you, right? Or no?
Oh no, I was cutting like part of it so they were.
Oh, that's
full.
right. You damaged the harnesses. Yeah.
So I'm asking the
That's
guy
right.
if he heard some like scream.
Falling.
Yeah.
Is there
something was
been any
falling,
accidents?
and accidents around
He's
the
like, "Whoa."
stables.
No one's been on flight tonight. They were going to do something of a ritual, I believe.
Oh, that's
Oh.
that's interesting.
Where exactly?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, just to keep the conversation going. Where's that?
so he kind of rubs his chin and says, well, they were going to, I believe, use you kind folks. Something of pleasing the god and hurling you off the top of the tower.
Excuse me, what? Us?
I'm sorry, what?
Yes,
I
yes.
want to know if we're
Oh,
dead.
don't ask me.
How are we
I just
going
work
to
here.
sacrifice us to the gods?
They were going to, I believe, keep you somewhat alive and throw you off the
Somewhat
bridge.
alive.
Incapacitated, I might say. That's at least what I've observed before, but like I said, cannot report to the police due to my NDA.
That is very good.
Yeah, well,
Disclosure
Where?
agreements.
my wife told me to look at the papers before I signed them, but sadly I did not in that one.
So what would-
What are they using now? Well, we
What
don't
will
know
we-
whether or not dead.
What they will do if you disclose your NDA?
Well, sir, it's more of a legal battle at that point where, I lose my
okay.
license as a janitor and a private investigator.
So they're not going to kill.
Well,
You like
we
us.
could use a janitor. We could pay you. Come along with us and be a janitor. Clean up our
He kind of gives you this look where he's like, I'm about your price range, man.
Price range.
I'm a bit out of your price range.
So you must be a really good cleaner.
Yeah.
Well, when you work for cults, you learn how to get blood out of sheets. I'll tell you that much.
So we have 3.5 body. Can you disguise them as us and send them to sacrifice?
He kind of gives you all a look and he says, you know, you heal me shoulder. And then he kind of like reaches in and takes his like death note back from you and like puts it back into his jacket. And he's like, as long as we don't disclose that I gave you that, we might be able to figure something out.
And I happen to glance at it as he passes by, and there's a man's name on the front.
Yeah, it's like Daryl.
Yeah. You said love letter.
Yes, it's unrequited, and he kind of. So then he kind of like rolls up his sleeves. He takes out 2 different like one is like a feather duster, and then one is what looks like some sort of like handheld mop.
For the blood.
Yeah.
You take that like an assault rifle.
Yeah. Takes out his assault
My name?
Turns into
Pardon me?
Did somebody say my name?
Feather duster man. Feather duster. So then he kind of like swings him in his hand,
Wait, the feathers are what?
and a kind of what did I say? It's very important.
You just get
What did I say? It was a a feather duster and a mop, kind of just like a mop head, really. So he kind of like swings them both in his hand, and then he like grabs. So one of you guys have changed into these. Have you both changed into the outfits, or you've changed into the outfit? Are you changed into the feather outfit yet?
The clothes?
Yeah.
I had it on, yeah.
Okay. So then he, puts your old clothes on these people, tidies them up, kind of makes them look a little bit uncannily like you. See him kind of lean over their faces, and then you pull back up, and they look kind of like both of you guys. He's like, I told you, I'm the very, very best.
Let's chase a bit.
I'm a bit out of your price range too.
I should not keep it on.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to be more than just a janitor?
No, man, it's good business. It's a simple life. Being a cult janitor is one of the simplest things you can do in life. So then he does kind of the same thing for the other body, and you're wearing the last feather robe. So then he kind of tidies up all the other bodies with his little companion, and then he gets each of you 3 and he's like, kind of like doing like the artistic thing. Like straightens up the way your like feather cloak looks, and he's like, yeah. It's like Zoolander, and so he kind of, fills it out, straightens your clothes, he pulls out some fake, or like some chains, but he doesn't buckle them, and he's like, if you mind, and he asks you to hold out your hands.
For us?
You two, the people who aren't wearing the coats.
It's okay, I think I know where this is going.
No way.
He's like, well, ma'am, you can either pretend to be prisoners, or you can fight your way to the top. So he kind of half closes these like manacles on both of you guys, and then
How long do we have until the ceremony?
Pardon me?
How long do we have until the ceremony?
He's like, well, that's what I was coming down for, sir.
Okay. No time for a long sleep.
Time for a long rest, sadly. I like where your head's at. It is, I think I had written it down. Let me see, I've written down my name somewhere. Wallace.
There's 2 pages on that guy instead
If you
of
ever need a favor, if you ever pass through the town of Leaf Willow, just tell them that you know me, and they will shower you with affection and probably the blood of pigs. They love me there.
Sounds delightful, then.
Yes,
If they need any
yes.
pig blood cleaning, you know where to
You
send
are
it.
a darling, darling gentleman.
So he, you guys have your manacles on, and he actually like rifles kind of through his pockets and pulls out another document, and you see that it has NDA written in large letters on the top. Be like, and I would like to ask you all to sign this to disclose that I did not help you in any way, shape, or form, or to defy my contract. So he hands you each an NDA. It's a sign that you won't write them out.
I would like to pretend to sign it, but not actually, and use my lovely sleight of hand.
Roll deception. Or roll sleight of hand, actually, if you have it.
I can't.
It doesn't seem magic.
He like, I mean, they're not all the way on, so you can kind of wiggle your... He like, he grabs one of the papers and like grabs your finger and like signs it for you. He like puts it in his pocket.
Well, that's how I guess we can help you. I won't reopen your fatal wounds.
It's like, that's a good point, sir. You make a very compelling point. And he kind of like gathers the half-signed NDAs and kind of puts them in his pocket.
Finish my cross.
Yeah.
I can't read.
Z. It's like Zorro, you know, just a big Z. Okay, so you guys, there's 3 of you three, in these kind of feather outfits with like the shoulders and the kind of the spiked helmet.
You got like a healing room where they stop pushing for healing, so.
Healing room. He's like, oh well, sir. The Samara and the boss do most of the first aid around here, sir.
Okay, I will ask it.
So he kind of he leads you out a little bit into the hallway, and in the hallway, you actually see that they had kind of like gurney there, where he loads those 2 bodies that look sort of like you guys on them, or there's 3 bodies, I think, that look sort of like you guys on them. He lets one of you kind of have charge of the gurneys. And he, kind of lashes the other 2 people. He's like, okay, well, he kind of like ties your chains, the 2 standing folks, to the gurney.
Oh, no.
And then he says, well,
wait, a gurney?
it's sort of like, like those like hospital bed type thing. It's sort of like a long pallet with wheels. He's like, yes, ma'am, I do understand. It's kind of a common thing around here to be disposing of certain items. Hence the NDA. And he kind of is, well, if you don't need any more help, and he kind of covers up his like torn shirt and his wounds, so that it doesn't look like he's been bleeding or anything like that. And he gets his friend up, snaps the arrow out of his shoulder, and they kind of both like look behind them and start like limping away pretty quickly.
You fired the arrow. Was it a magic arrow or
Standard. Yeah, the crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
To the bad.
in plain sight?
In plain sight.
Which is the best one because you don't have to roll dice.
Wonderful.
Disguises are good.
So we're on the
Get
3rd
up.
floor, and we need to get to...
So you're on the 3rd floor. On the 5th floor is the boss. On the basement 1 floor, which is like where the stables are, is Savara. So those are the 2 people who have.
Or should we fight one of these people?
I want to see what
You guys.
sacrifice is.
That's how long we can go off this thing.
I'm pretty sure they can sacrifice someone randomly
I don't
and
have to fight an entire towers with the people.
Yes. We're the ones who are going to end up very dead.
Alright, for disguise.
Anybody have Featherfall? Any skills like that?
Because we don't have chase, I don't know if we can talk our way out of anything.
Yeah, who has the most deception? That's something worth asking yourself.
hey, do we need you?
1.
That's a +3.
Deception. I just
So his is pretty good, and he's already dressed up.
I have pretty good stealth. I have +5.
Nice. So those will both put you in pretty good.
+0.
Yeah, less. I wouldn't let Howard do the talking. Unless you're very, very brave.
I'm trying to figure out where the ritual was going to be.
It's on the top of the tower.
So yeah.
Wouldn't Salvara be at the top of the tower for the ritual?
So she's kind of like the GM. She's still just running operations in the basement, so she's not going to be.
Boss.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
the
that
boss
means
is going to be is going to be in his suite. Like he's also kind of above it. It's just going to be the acolytes
so
probably.
Sarah is not going to be at her apartments.
So she's in the stables taking care of all the griffins.
So that means we can like loot the apartments.
The apartments will still probably have. You can try to loot her apartment, but you're in disguise, so you may be able to talk your way out of things if you encounter somebody.
She may have like some good stuff, and we may start a fire or something.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, it's
Many people would
you guys can do whatever.
Although,
Just do whatever you want, whatever arson you want.
It's not D&D.
So yeah, and then it's not. You gotta have a little bit of arson. So yeah, one thing to think about is I think that the delegates are probably not in this facility. They seem to be in that other one that he was kind of referring.
I think we should go to that facility.
I think we should find
But yeah, you like,
But if we want to.
but you don't really know where it is right now. It's just kind of in the valley.
Oh, so we didn't really get that information from
we
him.
need to talk to either the boss
Well, you
person
know that
or
it's in the
the-
valley somewhere. But you can either, you probably have the choice to like explore the valley and like walk around. You can try to like get some quick information from whoever,
We can steal some weapons.
or you can actually talk to even maybe one of the acolytes might know. Maybe you don't have to talk to the big boss.
While we're in disguise, we should try and talk to get some info before we blow our disguise.
Can we loot the...
But there may be some information on stuff beyond this thing here too. So like something to think about as well.
Or we
It's
can
like
try
there's
to
other
sneak
stuff
into
going
someone's
on in
office and find some information.
Yeah, we may have found some magic books. Or, magic users.
Oh, well, at this point we have all the bodies. They're gonna expect us to go upstairs.
Yeah.
Take the body. Okay, maybe
So
we
we,
do that.
so we can't, like, if we go downstairs, they're gonna be like, why aren't you taking them to the sacrifice?
You can talk your way out of that.
Sorry, we got lost.
Yeah, but it'd be...
We're stupid.
But you gotta
and
it'll be a gamble.
If
And they're paid.
we
They're on our way.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we could have different way out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, I have low deceptions.
Or you can fight your way out of that.
I think we just go straight to the top.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Alright, go to the top.
Unless you think there's too many.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so you know, with a bit of cajoling, kind of get this thing up the stairs slowly. All these like kind of bodies are slipping, and everyone's trying to like shove it, and you guys are chained to it. And it's kind of this like hot mess getting up to the first floor, one more floor up. You go through the fourth floor, it kind of circles around, and then gets to another staircase up to the fifth floor, and then you pass the boss's quarters. Everybody, roll me a stealth roll.
Pretty. We are dragging 3 corpses up the stairs and we have to get the...
17.
17.
Get the...
Yeah, check your modifiers, guys.
11.
11, 18. Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, this may be your all's lucky.
9.
Get the whole.
Where did I find another?
Not 20. Okay, so I thought you said critical fail, and I was like, ooh, this is about to get real interesting. Here, I'm in the way.
I got the...
Oh, it's on under the. I'm fat.
I'm good, I'm
It's over there under the bottom of the thing.
Also, which one's the port bottle?
Oh, let me do that. I'll get you guys the port. That is super good. I totally forgot. It's in the fridge actually, so it's already open. But let me just get that out for y'all. Whoops, somebody's in the back. All right. I better dial it down, or else I will not know what's going on after a few minutes. Yeah, this is that good BV port. Oh, I love this one. Enjoy.
I wanted that instead of, do you want my wine?
Yeah. I can drink your wine too if you just. Yeah, I'll drink it. Sure, if you want some port.
Someone drink her wine.
Someone drink her wine.
Drink my
I'm just gonna
wine.
use this glass. So I'll trade you. There we go. Because I probably can't do the strength of a port right about now.
Oh, really? I always feel like port.
Yeah, well, sweet. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have
I
that.
want you to think.
I don't have that power yet.
I got a 9 in my stuff.
So you got a 9. Okay, so everybody else is like pushing up the stairs pretty good. And Zuka stumbles and is like, struggling with one of the
It's
bodies.
not like that bad.
Yeah. But you hear kind of like something gets set down on the table, like, and how is the and you hear his voice. I forget what was his voice. Stern but fair. Gosh, I'm doing all these voices. You get them mixed up after a while. Is everything going well with the proceedings?
As good as it can be.
deception roll, please.
Yeah, he said that.
Step in if you want to roll well.
Go ahead.
Oof, well,
Well, it's
you gotta beat a 5.
okay. I got 19.
Okay, so
Successful.
excellent. Glad to know our guests have departed, and just keep things quiet. I'm trying to work, and then he just kind of walks over, closes the door. Yeah. So you.
Doesn't it feel good?
I don't, but I love talking. But I love talking, sir.
And sometimes I have to go.
So you all get up to the top, and you see 4 kind of cloaked figures. They're wearing a bit more ceremonial garb, but similar style with kind of the feathers on the shoulders, longer robes. There seem to be a few more layers. They kind of seem to be a bit more, I guess, elite in terms of the ranking here. They say, these are intruders. One of like the
I don't say that. I say to Zuko, quit, punch me. No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Why? You're already a prisoner.
Wait, aren't they?
You're chained up to the back of the cart.
Aren't they like suspecting that we're intruders?
Well, they're talking about the corpses and you two.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she's looking at like punch her like shut up.
I would say, yes, these 3 are particularly ready for the start. So,
You do please the howling abyss. And one of them smiles and grabs one of the corpses and says, "Shall we send them to the gods?"
do I know what the business
So, just to be sure, you're not chained. You're just like you have just your chain on your hand, but you can get out
I think we're
anytime.
chained to the gurney.
You're chained to the gurney right now, but the
That's
chains
great.
are loose around your wrists, like so you can
So
like
you can, they can
with like a very easy athletics roll, you'll be able to break free.
I'm talking before they grab my those two.
Yeah.
I'm
What are we doing?
well, they're one of the dead people right now.
Exactly, but let's just make sure they don't accidentally hurt quinoa.
So two, like the other three figures kind of accompany the first one, who seems to be like a little bit more stern faced. He has kind of some painting and like some like kind of dark paint underneath his eyes. And he says, "Ah, yes. Shall we send them to our gods?" And they turn the body towards the valley, and they throw it off. Everybody, give me a perception check.
21.
15. Okay, 17.
Fail.
Well,
Yeah, he threw a body off a building. Confirmed. You're so paralyzed by fear that you might be next, or you might be in this order. You're, God,
I was over at
get me out of here.
Peed herself.
Yeah, Quinoa's yeah,
Fine.
incontinence. Yeah,
Coin, please.
yeah, that's true. All right.
On the balcony.
Yeah.
We can just push them on
Do
the
you have an
side.
iPhone charger?
Oh, iPhone charger? Yes.
I don't know why the version.
I don't know, whatever her one is.
I have a little.
Oh, it's in your room.
Yeah, I'll plug it in. I only have one.
Wait, no, I have one too.
Oh, nice.
I think I
Oh,
brought one.
get my.
So what did you say?
Come on, Jeff. You can do it. Ugh. All right.
So what do we sew?
There should be a little plug down there somewheres.
There's one, yeah.
There you go.
Well, I brought a battery.
Oh, dang. You and Choi. I feel like Choi was the one who like blew my mind. He had like 3 of those things, and he was like, 'cause we were all like running out of batteries at BlizzCon. He was like, "Do you care for it? Do you have an iPhone, an Android, or a BlackBerry?" Yeah, I was like, God.
One that had like
Yeah.
a charger coming out of it.
Wow.
That was, like,
It was amazing. Yeah.
One, like micro USB.
I feel like BlizzCon is like the only time he would be that prepared for anything.
Yeah, for anything. Yeah, that was his Super Bowl,
That was
pretty
right.
much. Yeah.
My charger broke that weekend, so like wasn't charging, and so like I was like woke up at the 14%. But yeah, so
Yeah.
So what did we notice?
Okay, so one of them. So who got who got 17 or
I
above?
got 54.
Okay, so you see that he's thrown them towards a specific direction in the valley, and it's kind of towards the arch, and you can't really see what's beyond the arch. It's kind of in like shadow, but he's like right towards the arch, right where like the kind of like the eye of the arch is.
Do I notice this? No.
No, you don't see it. Only the people who got 17 reps saw it. So you see them throw it straight through the arch.
Okay.
He circles back and grabs the other corners. Isn't it wonderful to see the non-believers suffer for their denial? They kind of start dragging the other one.
Okay. I'm pushing him.
No, yes. I want to hear it from the other side. What is the face of these intruders when they reach the arch?
Ah, the arch. Well, they fall prey to our glorious Father, the Winds. He consumes their souls forever. But you know this, my friend.
Just push him to say the words.
Roll deception.
Just push one of them.
You can try. I mean, you can.
Let's start with
Yeah, well, he's trying to
20.
Oh,
Yeah. So he's like, you are ever so right.
Thank goodness. Woo. Can I get a name in?
Our elemental lord will be very pleased at the devotion of his believers. He looks at their bodies and he says, poor fools never stood a chance.
They were dead.
They're actually really cool. You shut up. But yeah, so then he grabs that second one, who we've already, I think, probably pulled off the gurney, walks him towards. There's kind of these four kind of spikes coming off the top of the tower, and then other one towards the arch.
yeah.
And he
More
turns
body,
back.
and then he's
Remind me.
So we just push them and
No, I was gonna ask him what direction.
go ahead.
We don't want body.
What do we do?
Okay, I'm standing just between.
So who's whispering hurriedly over there? Ask him about this. So you have to figure out quickly, or else you'll have to roll stealth.
Remind me, brother, what our next move is after this. I look so forward to it, and the bloodlust.
So roll deception as well. It'll be an easier one because he already bought his.
That's a 5 work.
Yeah, doesn't beat a 17.
Okay. Can I just push one of the two?
It would have been a lower check, but I mean 5. I would have like cut it by 5, but it's still
Wait, where
5
is-
is too low.
Where is everybody standing right now?
Yes.
So there are the gurney is about the center. So the stairs come up in the center of this like circular tower top, and it kind of opens up. So that's where the gurney has come out, and it's stayed there. The 4 people who had been standing on each kind of axis, like north, south, east, west, have walked to the center, and then one of them is kind of taking the bodies and throwing them off, while the other 3 are kind of standing maybe about 10 feet away from you.
Completely not trust us because it's Indigo, right? So
So he,
I'm just an idiot.
So what did you ask him? I forget.
Oh, what our next move is after this. I'm just so the bloodlust. I'm so forward to it.
He looks over your outfit, and unbeknownst to you, it seems to be like a little bit less kind of like built out as his or even his. And he says, "I do not believe an acolyte would be asking me such questions." And then he grabs the third body. And
Okay.
starts walking
When
towards
he's
the
going
edge.
to throw him, I'm just throwing slowly, and when he's going to throw the body, I'm just going to try.
Are you following stealthily?
No, I'm just like, oh, let me see. And
Okay. Roll deception, I guess. Or let me see. What would be another one that we could get you with? Yeah, I think deception is the best, or persuasion. Whatever you have better.
That's just
11. So yeah, he lets you follow him, but he's kind of just like looking over his shoulder uncomfortably as you like walk up behind him.
I slump down and try to look as beaten and dejected as possible.
Yeah, you can. You do that very well. I was gonna say you should roll deception, but I feel like you guys are already like such good. You know, you've already made that believable, so you get the free pass on that without having to roll.
So,
Yeah, so he smiles and he's like, yes, supper.
And then to make him try to take me to the windows.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you like super.
So he throws the third one.
Yeah, so
I'm going to push him when he's throwing.
And one more move.
Wait,
What do you want to do?
What?
you can't be whispering.
Hey! Don't kill his ass!
I'm not trying to get more information.
Alright.
I'm saying.
Okay. So decide sooner. You'll have to roll a stealth roll.
I was just saying. It's like, might I have the next one?
Your zeal is strong, my friend. Of course. Make sure they follow the true path. And so he throws the body off, goes towards the arch. And he starts, and you can...
So what kind of things? Strength or acrobatics?
it would be acrobatics, I think. Acrobatics and or strength. You can probably use either.
So this one makes it so that at least I'm holding on to you instead.
well, I was gonna try and like stab him and he's holding on to me.
Well, join me.
Ooh.
9 of strength.
Ooh, I rolled a 20.
Ooh.
So,
This character is going to be.
so you tried to shove him?
Yeah, I just tried to, push him with my.
So
with my
he
foot.
jumps out of the way and kind of elbows your back, and you start stumbling forward. So give me an acrobatics saving throw.
Would that be dexterity?
Or it could be dexterity or acrobatics. Acrobatics is usually dexterity is like kind of like hands.
Like this, for saving throws, it's usually different.
It's the
Yeah,
same anyway.
it's the same. Yeah.
So 12.
Okay, so you slip over the edge, but catch it with one hand, and you're kind of like holding onto the edge with just your hand.
Wait, out of the window? You fell out the window?
Or out of the top of the tower. So you're good on like the top level. That's just open air.
That's why
Yeah,
I wanted
sorry.
to push them because you can just push your enemy on the side. With that.
So you're like holding on the edge right now, and he says, "Brother, did you try and push me, sir?" And he lifts his foot over your hand as like you're holding onto the edge.
Okay, as he lifts his foot,
The Nyan told me to.
kick him.
Our wage is inefficient.
You guys suck. This is how we deal with upwards feedback. Take your boss to the top of our building.
So
Be
when
like,
he's on
listen.
his foot, can he be at disadvantage because he's off balance?
Yes.
Can I kick him?
Yep. You're gonna have to do an athletics because you're running over to him, and then do a strength.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because that'll be a big
That's
move.
fine. Okay, so first one.
Ooh, God, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, 7?
Okay, roll your strength. So you can get there.
Saving throw? I think I have advantage on. Oh, that's dexterity.
I shouldn't let Adam see the dice rolls.
Okay,
He's gonna know if I go easy on you
strength,
guys.
I
I
got
can't let that
21.
happen. Hot 21?
Yeah.
Alright,
So I trip, but I'm really strong.
let me try.
So you trick
So
the
you're
man.
all in with 7 plus 21, 28. Okay.
Like, spot.
Ooh, wow, you guys match. So I've been doing, okay. So then you run over as he stands, so he's at disadvantage. I forgot about that. And then he wants to do his athletics. Ooh, wow, okay. You guys got real lucky. So he, so you sprint over, you're kind of like stumbling in kind of the winds that are whipping on the top of this
No,
open tower.
The coke
But,
is like fluttering.
Yeah. And then you're right up against the edge. It's like, thousands, because like the tower just doesn't end at the ground. Like the ground kind of continues down into this valley. So it's like this enormous drop. And you're able to kind of just body wrap him and yank him back. And you both land on your back. And
I was trying to push him off.
are you trying to push him off?
Yeah, I was trying to kick him off.
Oh, okay. So then you,
Well, I mean, unless, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should
No.
Well, there's- yeah.
Yeah, you decided to kick him.
Yeah.
so you kick, I didn't hear that part. So you, boom, deliver a hard kick to his back. And he's on one foot and he's leaning over and he's like, I fall to the gods. And he starts like falling towards the tower, towards the arch. And then
The other, can you do that too?
so the other 3 are not super happy with you all. So everybody roll me initiative.
I was just trying to defend if you guys.
Yeah.
It's a good yes.
All right. 20. Oh, you're rolling hot tonight. Rolling hot tonight.
And a plus
Ooh,
5 and
that's
a
like
plus
nice.
too, so.
Why do I get nat 20s on initiative? I don't care about initiative.
Initiative's good. All right. So you got 22.
No, I got an 18 plus 2, so.
So 20, and then
Like, I forget all my
whatever
initiative
plus,
numbers.
yeah.
Oh, just greater 20.
Your initiative here.
Yeah, but it says plus 0.
Oh, okay.
20, 20. So that's all right.
What else do I have?
Yeah, let's
I'm
think about
reminder.
that.
9 is going to be here, and then anybody else? What else?
So, wait,
16.
this guy fell to his death. Do we only have to fight, what, 3 other people?
We're
Yeah.
already dead, right? I mean, he fell down like a giant cliff.
So if
I
they're
mean-
not part of the cult, they would just have their soul eaten for eternity. But if they're part of it, it's okay.
If they're part of the cult, they're
Yes,
which
it's
one?
okay to go inside the wind and them.
I don't know.
That's not fair.
You guys done? Do you guys not observe what would happen? You guys haven't watched him fall.
Can I just convert to the cult really fast? Like, oh, I have to check it out. And
Please, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I won't let that stuff I did. Oh, flying! Yay!
if you could work like
It's like that is like Pickle Rick. Where he's a little thing. Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm back. I'm okay. F you got it. And like the one where it's like splits all the when he splits all like the
yeah.
singularities.
Okay, so.
Okay, so then 16 is you, 20 is
I have
you,
a
19.
9. Okay, and 19. Oh wow, you guys are rolling hot tonight. All day.
I could roll good all day.
All right, and then these guys are kind of spaced between you. Night and then night. All right. So you two, 220s are the first to go. Check your donations and be happy. Oh wow, did someone donate something crazy? Let me see. What's that?
She should probably be first because she was in that 20.
Because she was in nat 20?
Yeah, I was at 18 plus 2, she was in that 20.
You were in nat 20? Oh, that's right, she wasn't at 20. She should be first. Thank you, Fallen Clown, for the $20 donations. Right. We just saw it. I've been in the zone doing math. Yeah, we're gonna buy some more pizza rolls. We bought some more wine. Thank you for the $20 donation. That is so nice. And Merry Christmas. I hope this Christmas fire brings you lots of cheer, as much as it brings us.
Yuletide log, I swear.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
What's that?
After this fight, can we make some pizza rolls?
We can make some pizza. I ate a lot of them for dinner, but there are some left. So, guaranteed pizza rolls. Thank you so much, though, Fallen Clown. That is so nice. Much obliged. I'll make the little thing. There it goes. That's the donation sound.
We've never met it.
There you go. Okay, I've turned the volume up so I can actually hear them when they come in because my computer was on mute for a little while.
Okay.
But thank you. So now keep playing. Absolutely. We are here to entertain. Okay, so initiative. You two are first, so you are the very first to act.
Okay,
So you have.
grab the room key.
You're still strapped to the cart.
Okay.
So you may need to use your movement turn to break. You can use a bonus action for that to break free of your little chains, and then do whatever you want.
So are they still like one is at each corner of the...
Well, they're still about 10 feet away from you all on either side, and then I should draw this out. I'm gonna do that.
There are now
Let me get my sharp.
No, there's 3 of them.
Oh, really?
There were
Okay.
4.
Oh, there were 4.
One is out of the wind, and
Yes.
One has joined his god.
yeah.
So there is tower top stairway. That's a stairway here. The gurney's right here with you guys, and then you're still hanging over the edge.
Just hang out.
Fox is up here after having delivered a kick. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
figure.
Can we just put
Yeah,
like
and then that guy
this
is
is
like-
Fox, this is me,
Yeah, that's smart.
this is Pickle and everyone else, and then we are in blue.
Yeah, and the bad guys are on the other side.
Which
Yeah, and they're about 10 feet away from you.
Okay.
Okay.
trying.
I thought we had decided
Like,
that
I
the chains
gotta
weren't actually.
familiarize myself.
Yeah, refamiliarize yourself with your moves.
with all my moves.
Yeah, but they have to because it's closed. They have to shake it,
Okay.
and they may spend a turn.
Shake
Shake it, shake
it.
Check it.
I have 22.
Yeah, everyone.
Out of 35.
Everyone's pretty low on health.
So I need
Yeah,
like,
not great.
Oh wait,
as a tank.
I'm 12. I'm 35.
Wow, you guys are pretty low.
And I'm hungry. Yeah, wait.
These guys are
until
tough.
I-
really get
out
That's
of
what
the,
happens. It's about to get real interesting. It's about to get real interesting. Pardon me?
So you're gonna make the blue blue?
No.
Okay. Also, if we are a
Not gonna do
splash
right now?
because someone just crashed on the, down, everything,
Yeah.
just tell us.
Hey, here. It'll happen in like a while from now, though.
6 turn later.
You'll just hear me clap, and then
We're
that'll
just-
be him.
It'll
Boom!
be like a pin dropping because it'll be so far away, right?
Yeah. After taking a long rest, you're waking up and you're.
Bark. Yes, indeed.
Another soul.
Okay, so do you want to go first, Fox? Because you got to figure it out.
I mean, that would
Yeah, because you got the same.
Okay. I'd like to enter a rage, please.
And then as you do it, like the muscles on that like cloak just like
Disperse.
shred off, and then like it's sort of like it's like shredded on the side. Yeah, the feathers like
And I blow
like
them on
fluff
my
up into. Yeah, very bravely.
face.
With much power.
Then I'm gonna turn to my left.
Okay.
So this one over here.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to run back a little bit. It's gonna be about like 30 feet. I would say.
Oh, is that 30 feet? Okay.
Yeah,
30
it's not
feet
just
away.
not the propulsion. So they're 10 feet away from the gurney, but the tower is like pretty massive. So you'll just have to use
As
your
my
movement.
bonus action? Oh no.
Because no, you that was out of combat, so you can still move action, bonus
I was thinking
action.
my bonus action could be just cutting the straps on the gurneys.
Yeah, and you might want to help Mikael up or Zuka.
I am pretty athletic.
Yeah, you're still holding on to like 1,000-foot drop. That's your call.
I should probably do that. Okay, I'll help him up first.
All right, so give me an athletics roll.
We have to do.
Don't get a natural 1, or else
Oh my gosh.
you both will be in a pickle.
Oh.
Mikael?
So much
Mikael. Present.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah, athletics.
It's an 11.
Okay, so after a bit of grunting, you're able to pull him up. You won't be able to take another action as turn because that wasn't like a really great roll. But yeah, you both are now standing on your feet on the tower, kind of wavering on the edge in kind of this
Can I
wind.
move as a bonus action?
Yeah, you can move.
Okay, I'm gonna move towards the gurneys and just tank the gurney ladies.
Yeah, so you run towards the gurneys, and you're in a rage. The gurney ladies.
People.
Yeah, them. All of them. So you sprint over to the gurney, and yeah, there you are. Now it is your turn. Hello, hi.
Can I do my bonus action first and then do my regular action? Or is there...
No, I do it.
Okay, so then I'm gonna use my bonus action to like unshackle myself.
So yeah, so
Is that okay?
you do your bonus. So give me an athletics check just to make sure that you successfully.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Yeah, it was a 4.
Oh,
So,
I kicked it. It has to be on.
I kicked it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what is that. 11?
It's in your skills.
Is athletics one of them? Oh yeah, it is. -2. Nice. I got a 9.
Minus
Nice.
Yeah. Minus modifiers.
Because of your strength. Or your size of 2.
So you got a 9 all in. So it takes you a little. And they finally do kind of come loose, and yeah, you only had to beat a 5 there. So So
4, huh?
yeah. So you're loose. You have used your bonus action, but you have an action and movement
Okay,
left.
now I'm gonna cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
Which is my level 2, is at level 2. So I get 4 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. The dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target.
Any knockback? No. No, it doesn't think so.
That's smart. Look for anything that has knockback. You can arrange them.
Yeah, I don't think magic missile.
No, I don't think it
not.
does, but I just think it
Okay.
I'm gonna send to just force. Does that count? The damage effect is force.
It'll say usually. It'll say.
Okay, then no. Okay, so then I'm gonna roll. So if I want 2 of them to go to each person, do I get to roll and then distribute as I desire, or do I have to roll and be like, before I roll, say who it's going to?
I think magic missile is usually like, is it multiple target? It's usually a single target, right? We're usually just like.
Start with a creature of your choice.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I would just roll. If I would roll each of those 4, and then we'll see how many of them hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they all have the same armor.
Okay. And 1d4 plus 1 means I roll the d4 and add 1 to it. Alright. Just making sure.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Confused. Okay. So that's 2
plus 1, right?
3. Oh yeah. 1 and 4. Oh, I got 1 plus 1. Okay, so then I'm gonna do.
That was 3, 4.
Well, what was your? You have to roll your. You have to roll to hit first, right? With
Oh,
magic missile, yeah.
2, 1.
What I roll to hit?
You're a d20. You're
I
d20.
think she got it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was a 2, 3, 1.
I got 1 of each.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
one.
that's like 10 total plus 4 for each one. So
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I rolled a 12.
I thought magic missile.
Is there a modifier
You
for-
should have a spell
I thought
attack.
magic missile always hit.
Is that
You're right.
Yeah.
Magic missile always
Magic missile
hits.
always
I
hits.
No,
lied.
never mind. Okay,
She
so I
was
have
doing the
14
damage here.
total, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
that
send
was
7
damage.
to each one.
7 to each one. Well, 14 divided by 3.
Oh, I thought there was 2 of them. Motherfucker.
Is...
14 divided by 3. Okay, then 2 of them get 5, 1 of them gets 4.
Okay.
You can still
So
kill 2 and
you open up your hands and light shoots out, striking each of the different assailants, each of the different priests. They all.
we haven't served us yet.
That's true. They're just like actually old guys that you're just attacking randomly. So what was it? 7 7 or wait?
So
it was 5
5,
5 5 4.
They're not though. They were wearing like fancy.
Yeah.
Are we not trying to kill them?
Yeah, they're coming. They look very aggressive right now. They're coming.
Okay. I'm very scared.
Okay. Hey!
Hi,
Hey, evil priest!
friend.
So we just murdered your friend. Awkward. Sorry.
You have shots of missiles at you.
Yeah.
So, was it a friend or a colleague or
A colleague.
friends?
I mean, it's not the same thing. You know, that guy probably was a punk, right? He had it coming. Yeah. Now you can take his job.
Yeah.
That's the best way to rise. That 5 stars would be so much more interesting that if to like rise in position you had to like slay your manager. There has to be a vacancy.
It's gone.
Huh?
I think it's gone.
It's probably for the best. I'm already getting more creative as we speak. Okay. So you both have gone. Now it is their turn. Or 2 of their turns. So oh damn. One of them rushes up to Quinoa.
I'm guarding them.
Oh, you're guard. So.
I moved myself here. I don't know which one it is.
Okay. So the one on the left, the D100 there,
Tank for you guys.
Oh.
rushes up to this kind lady who is or actually, ooh. Yeah. Does a, what is his spell? Attack? Or it's attack.
That would be.
+4 to hit. Oh my god, where is it? Oh yes, hit 5. That does a 12 hit.
No.
Nope, that doesn't hit either. Okay, so he frumples over to you, and he's like this old priest, and he kind of swings and misses twice. It's very embarrassing. I'm in the way. Oh my gosh. I need to move Chase's massive table back. So he swings and misses twice. The other one from the other side comes over and attacks Deer. We'll say the other chained soul. We'll say Piquel Reek. So he sees vulnerability and he attacks. Does a 23 hit.
Yes.
And then how about a 13?
Wait, are these different numbers?
Same number, yeah. Same. He attacks twice. He has 2 swords.
Oh,
Pulls 2 swords out of his cloak.
Oh no, wait, what? What was
The next one was 13.
Okay, never mind.
So he pulls out 2 kind of like old-looking daggers with these kind of like curly tops, and he starts marching towards you. Takes 1 swing, misses, and the other one finds purchase. Ooh, ouch. Ooh, I'm sorry. 9 points of slashing damage. So he takes one of his daggers and kind of cuts your side.
Why are you so hungry?
You
I'm
do not.
sorry.
Yeah. He says, "You do not defy our prince."
It was your prince?
Tell me your plans.
all the plans.
I will murder you.
Oh, I'm in the way. I'm sorry. I lost.
I'm at 8 out of 25.
Oof.
Brother.
I can
Tell me your plans.
Might be
you, but the other
might not be a bad idea. So it is on you, sir.
Okay. I think everyone is down a bit when you can help it.
we already had the battle
We're
before.
not doing
You
great.
have some sort of area.
I do.
Yeah, oh,
So I'm gonna do prayer. I'm gonna do prayer.
Thank God.
So, up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range. Each of them is equal to 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Woo!
2d8 plus 3.
Dang.
There's only 4 of them. Can I do 1.5?
Wait, what do you mean?
You could do the people that are.
Well, there's 6,
I
right?
don't need healing. I'm at full.
I would. You could only do visible. Like you probably can't double up on somebody. It would only be whatever is the cap there.
You have 2 eyes on someone.
So I
No, I
get
have to
13
do
back.
more.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, you rolled it?
I
Yeah,
rolled a
2d8.
7 and a 3 plus 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you
He has to roll a
okay.
2d8.
Okay, sorry.
I love the enthusiasm.
That's what we checked.
Perfect.
That was a 7.
That's awesome.
Right.
6.
Oh, that's
13.
better.
Choose who it is before
13 plus 3, 16.
So we each get 16 hit points.
Yeah, you each get 16.
Okay, it's even.
Oh.
Each gets 16 hit points.
It's
Nice.
Christmas.
Wow.
That was nice.
It's a miracle.
You don't have to be so spiritual.
It's a Christmas. I pray for all of you all the time. It's usually that you're not bad people. Okay, so this kind of glorious light bursts out of your dear cleric friend, Wexley, and you all feel a sense of peace and happiness, and your wounds start to close as all his good deeds start applying to you for once. And then the next person to attack, the third knight who's at the back of the party, just is really pissed that you guys have been able to heal. So he holds out his hand, staying at a decent distance.
Two of them are near us by the gurney, and one is far away.
Who's this third person
No,
with us
there's
here?
only 1 yours.
What, the third one is the gurney.
The gurney.
One of them
Oh, okay.
launched that thing.
Yeah.
And the other one comes.
Okay, so one is
I
outside
think
the
that's-
gurney, 2 are far away.
Yeah, no, 2 are next to the
Oh
gurney.
yeah, Adam. That's Adam. That's Adam.
Yeah.
That's right.
2 are next to the gurney, and that one on the bottom of the 6 dice is far away. And so he is going to make 2 ranged attacks. He's going to attack Piquel. Or actually, yeah, or sorry, I think the one who shot magic missiles at him, Quinoa. So he's going to hold out, pull out both of those daggers again, and throw 2 of the daggers. They're kind of going end over end. Does a 23 hit.
How do I...
It's your spell
Yeah,
AC.
No one's ever tried to attack me before.
I'm innocent!
Yes.
Yeah.
Does a 10 hit.
No.
What if it's 10 inclusive? Or
Yes.
sure hits?
Oof. Okay.
I thought that was the other way around. When you defending if you have the same level at 10, and you're the one winning.
So, 2 daggers slam into your shoulders. You rock back and you take 12 points of slashing damage.
Oh, brother.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exactly the number of points we've been held.
16, yeah. Alright, so now it is Piquel Riquel's turn to
How
attack.
much did you do for the... How much the number for
I haven't
initiative, huh? How
Oh,
much did you have
I
initiative?
have like 9.
Oh. I had
You're before me.
Yeah, I had 19.
No, but you're the lowest now. It's your turn. So they...
He never went. I'm 9. He's like 19.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see that. It's your turn. Sorry.
I
I made a boo-boo.
Okay. I will
I'm going to push
throw
this
my
wine
shove
away
into
from me here.
No more.
No more so.
So
one.
yeah, she just helped you up, and
Yes.
you're on the edge
You
now.
want me to skip my turn because she helped me, or?
No, you can still play your turn, but just trying to like keep things oriented.
Okay. So I'm going to use my
but you're at the edge.
free action to move a little bit with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to launch my javelin, which is still red of blood, to the
Yeah,
mage.
bloody javelin. With janitor blood, you monster. Alright, go ahead and roll your attack.
This is the best law. So 8, 6, 14.
That will miss. So
Okay.
your javelin goes by and skitters on the stone floor of the tower, and just kind of comes to a stop by the edge, by the far edge.
Oh yeah, I should have answered my rage.
You can
It's
do
alright.
it as a bonus action.
You can do it as a bonus action.
I already moved as a bonus action.
Oh, you used your movement to walk.
Oh, that's a movement?
Yeah, you used your movement.
Oh yeah,
Movement's
so
a
I'm
separate
entering
action.
a certain range.
Yeah, so you both are raged out.
And I'm using the rage, my special rage. Oh, special.
Wait, so on a turn you get a movement and a bonus action and a normal action?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought the bonus action was a movement.
I
but
kind of did
no.
too, otherwise I would have put their but I think they got 3 minutes.
Yeah, they got free. Well, they just have to do a very because they were already rigged to break, so that's a very low roll for them. Okay, so now it is back to Piquel Riquel.
Alright. Alright, hear me out. So, as my bonus action, I would like to jump up onto the gurney. And as my movement, I would like to use that momentum to, like, skate on the gurney away.
You will have to do an athletics roll, but that can work. Where are you trying to get? So where are you trying to get
a little
to?
bit away so that I can shoot an
Away.
arrow.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. So which direction are you? Which
Can you
direction
go
are you
away
heading?
from the balcony?
Let's say not like away from all this nonsense in the middle.
Yeah.
But not
Where's the
like
balcony is,
not
right?
like falling off the edge, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
the other way?
So kind of towards that east
This
side.
one here, let's say
Yeah,
this
you're
one.
that one. Yeah, just hop on top of the 6 dice, which is the gurney.
No, I think that's Adam.
Oh, that's Adam. Okay, then you can just like
This is
slide
me?
across.
No, that's me. What?
Yeah.
There's no. I don't think there is
This
any
was the
gurney.
gurney.
I just noticed that this still has a 10-minute casting time.
Ooh. Well, we'll let it slide this time.
So you're just standing there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got this, guys.
Waiting.
Guys, I got this.
7 minutes after battle, I'm finished.
It's cool, guys. I'm still healing
Before I
it.
move it, before I move it, I need a roll to see if it's.
Yeah. So roll me an athletics check.
She won.
18.
Okay, so
Yay!
you kind of do a somersault midair. You have like a little style point where you like,
I feel great after being.
Yeah. You like do your eyebrows midair. I'm sorry, I'm in the way. We just need to go out that way. I feel like.
Yeah.
So yeah, you jump on the gurney, slide towards the edge, and then you are a number of feet away, maybe like 20 feet away from the kind of like bulk of the combat. You're a little closer to that guy who's still out standing and throwing daggers, and it is your action time.
Okay, I would like to shoot an arrow with my longbow.
Boom. All right, roll me attack.
Wait, who do I want to shoot though?
Maybe the guy with the daggers for the left.
This guy?
You maybe
Throwing
closest to
daggers?
you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna shoot an arrow.
Cool.
An attack is sky, right?
The big one, the
Modifier
D20.
is
Go to
my
your attacks and
It'll be on your weapon. It'll be
Oh,
your
yeah,
weapon
yeah.
modifier.
so it's
to hits.
plus, yeah. So whatever you roll, you got
Ooh, nice.
20.
Oof.
Ooh. Well,
So
not bad.
it hits. You got to hit.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll
And,
damage.
1d8. This one is 8? Yes. Plus 1. 7 plus 3. So 10.
Okay, so 10 points of damage. So you kind of on the gurney and you do like the
So cool, guys.
eyebrow thing and poof.
Like,
And then
roll
bam, it just slams into his into his gut. He leans forward. You see the guy cough up some blood, and he looks back at you, angry, but
This is going to be
bleeding.
Okay.
Yeah, we can move that table. Anyways, so boom, you do 10 points of damage. He is not a happy camper. Now it is on you.
Okay.
So, alright, I'm just gonna take a big great axe swing at this guy over here.
Cool.
He's
Roll the
closest
attack.
to me.
For however
With
many
my great axe, yeah.
for however many attacks you do.
Just one.
Just one.
13.
So you rock back with your massive axe, take a swing, and you notice that he's like ducked below it, like right along the angle. All right, now it is you, Heller High,
Who's looking the most bad?
the one that's throwing the throwing knives.
One who's throwing knives?
Yeah, he's kind of got that that
Most bad.
One
arrow
who threw
still in
knives
his
at
gut.
me?
The one
Yeah,
that's
the one who threw knives at you.
closest to dying,
Yeah.
or like the most dangerous?
I meant the closest to dying. Good, okay. Okay, I'll cast Ray of Frost at him then. So I'm gonna roll a d8, and he'll take that amount of cold damage. So first I have to roll to.
To attack. So the big D20,
Do I add anything?
whatever your spell modifier is, but 3 probably is not going to hit no matter how much you add. So, Heimlich?
Yeah.
E. Water?
More water?
It's cool, it's cool.
Alright, don't die. It's really sad when my girlfriend dies. Don't do that.
Wait, can I use one of my tips?
You can!
That I missed.
Re-roll.
Or were they in the couch?
Oh, gosh, they're not even
It's all good. That just drops to the floor. You can have an extra one because, yeah, keep it simple. See why?
Alright.
Re-roll that.
Bigger than a 3.
That's better. Yeah.
And what's your modifier?
Too many steps to this game.
Minus 10.
Minus 10.
Where does my
It's your spell attack modifier. It's your spell attack one.
To hit plus 5.
Boom! Okay, so you do 18 to hit, so that is a hit.
Wait,
So go ahead and roll me damage.
Wait, I need 18?
No, you got it. You got it.
That's
Or 17, yeah.
Okay.
So you got a 17 hit.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the 8 now. It's so stressful.
Yay.
You got it. So you're holding it in your hand. Frost is crystallizing up your arm.
7!
Nice. So
Oh my gosh.
bolt of frost, like lights out in blinding white light. Hits him right where the arrow is.
He's gonna be all slow now.
Ah, okay, cool. So then,
His speed is reduced by 10 feet. He was starting my next turn.
awesome. So then, kind of the ice crystals start to creep up his torso. His little feathers start breaking off, and that was 8 damage. You said 7 damage.
7 damage. It can be
Alright.
if you want it to be.
Well, thank you. That's so nice. So the next person that is up is the kindly priests. So the first one that is going to attack is the one right by the kind barbarian Feather Midget. Oof, 1. That's not going to work. And a 3. So he takes both of his daggers and he's so intimidated by the lady. stumbles backwards and takes and he falls on his ass and takes 3 points of damage, just stumbling back as you like yell at him and he falls on his ass. He starts crying. No, have mercy. Oh, here, I got you. It's a toaster oven.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you want some of those? Yeah, you want some of those.
I was thinking for the future.
All right, so the next one, let me just attack some of the level real quick. So 7 plus 5. So does a 12 hit hell or high?
So it's 10. Yes, it does.
So yeah, and then does a that definitely hits 19. All right, this is gonna get interesting, y'all.
Whatever it is, if it's greater than a 2, then I'm at 0.
Yes, so that is about 12 points of damage. So
Am I negative?
the other one, so no, you hit 0 and you go unconscious and you have death saving throws. So every time your turn comes around, you roll as to whether you're gonna success or fail. So he takes his 2 katanas out, and your eyes roll back and you collapse on the ground. Yeah, it's like Genji, pretty much. So you collapse on the ground and you're trying to like put your stuff back in. It's like you know, like yeah. So you're incapacitated, and you are on death saving throws. So now it is.
By the way,
It would have been. Yeah, it's Zuga's turn.
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I'm within 5 feet of the hostile, so you have advantage on melee attack rolls.
How much?
You have an advantage, so you can roll twice.
Oh, I can roll twice.
Yeah.
Because I have that, and that's my attack of the totem warrior.
Roll twice and take the better of the 2. I'm gonna put
Is
some.
it on
As long as
attack?
it's against this creature, or I think
Okay.
that one's within 5 feet.
Is it on attack and damage or just attack?
Advantage on just attack roll.
Okay, cool.
But, you know, if you
Nice.
roll really crappy, you can roll again.
Nice. It's like a token without having strange accents. Nice.
What'd you get?
No, it's like having tokens
Oh,
without
yeah.
having the strange accents.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alright, 15 minutes, you will have some pizza rolls.
There
There are only 6 left, so they're all yours. But
no.
6 what?
pizza rolls.
Oh,
It's a whole pizza.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
One
each?
Yeah.
I'm.
You have to roll to see who gets them all.
Can we just? Or is there not like a startup that can order pizza roll from an app and
Gosh,
pizza roll?
seriously.
Pizza roll delivery.
Yeah, I don't want pizza delivery. I want pizza rolls. Very specific.
Pizza order. Okay, so I'm going to get. I was with my friends or acquaintance, and I want to get near those two. They are how near are they? Oh, yes. So the mage, how far is he from the group? I want to be able to
They're
attack
still about-
two at the same time.
You want to be able to hook 2 at the same time. They're pretty far from each other, so
Oh, okay.
the ones that are right up next to you are, you know, within maybe 2 feet of you, and the other guy is about 10 feet away.
Okay. So I'm going
so
to attack to
yeah.
each one.
Yeah, the 2 feet
my
guy.
maul.
With your maul. Oh, yeah, with your maul. Yeah, okay, cool.
Maul. Yes.
So go ahead and roll attack.
Yes. And I have advantage, and I have also the raid, which is +2, I think.
Yeah, he has advantage on attack rolls.
And the default raid is +2.
Unclear. That's on strength checks and saving throws. You get a bonus to damage.
Oh, it's damage. Okay. Never mind.
Ooh, that's good. There's a little bit of port left. I was like, That's nice.
Where's the dice?
Alright.
So 11 plus 6, it's 17.
That'll hit.
I have I can reroll it if it's not enough.
No, that'll hit. That'll hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll damage. So you take your massive axe, raise it over your head to strike one of these.
So it's 2 to
Little
6
priests.
plus 4 plus 2. So 2 to 6 plus 6.
Which one are you hitting?
This one, I guess?
That's
I'm
the
not sure.
knife throwing guy?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, so the knife throwing guy is that
This
other one
one?
way back
So
there.
that's-
So he's. Oh,
that's
yeah.
you?
Yeah, that's
this
you,
one?
and he's up toward the edge. And those two are right next to you.
Okay, so
Those
he's
are the
there.
other two, yeah. And that guy's like right next to you.
Okay, so this is 6. And I got a 3 plus 6 9.
Okay, so you do 9.
I'm in a rage, so in my bonus action, I want to attack again.
Okay?
Okay.
So
Crazy
9.
rage. And I got a 2, and then rotate, just, to make sure. And that's 20.
Nat 20, so you get a crit. Alright, so roll your bonus damage.
Yeah!
Roll double damage.
Yes.
Plus 2 on each double damage.
So I got 6 plus 3, 9.
Just all in.
Oh,
You do the dice twice, and then you just add the same modifier. You don't double the modifier. So
Oh,
crit.
So I got 9 plus 6,
18 plus 2,
17.
Nice.
Alright. So you take your massive maul, slam him once, and he's rocking back, and you take it again. Just gone. Just smashed.
Next!
Yeah.
I want some more.
So that one is dead and gone. Boom! One
Which one?
evil knight. The one right by Mikhail.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and take that away. Boom! Gone.
Trip now.
Yeah, so this is this little, like, bloody circle, which is really gross. And then it is now on...
Them, right?
Does it heal revive, or is that only?
Yeah, it can revive. It can, once it gets them up above the hit points. What a good guy, good guy.
Definitely do. No, 10 minutes in battle is different.
Oh,
You said we
Yeah.
let that one.
So every turn is
Yeah, let that one
When
go.
you're- when you're
Yeah,
in
we
battle,
threw
it's
a-
I thought it was like really
Yeah.
You've played about 12 seconds of time,
Yeah.
and about half an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, we can talk longer. We can make.
We can drag this out for survival.
Okay, so
Yeah, every loop is 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Alright,
So,
so D8
how about
plus
this?
Oh.
Oh, it's an 8. So 11.
Okay,
So you're back with 11.
so you have 11 health. So you lay on hands and be like, forgive her for her sins.
Your sense of being hit.
Her sins of not being fast enough, Lord.
Or strong enough.
So life flows back into your veins. You blink as your wounds start to close. It's those pizza rolls. Well, it's because it has the old pizza rolls.
Oh,
It was like the same. It was the same piece of foil. It's not pretty. Anyways, okay, so you're back alive. Go you. The guy with the knives sees the person who just resurrected his recent kill and attacks them with his throwing knives. So does a 8 hit? I don't think so. Oof, but a 24 will hit. And you're getting attacked.
Oh, the 8.
So you have 4 damage. So he, from a long distance, throws one, misses. The other one kind of skims by and catches your arms. Take 4 piercing damage.
It was
He has lots,
24
like little vest. 4 damage, just 4 damage.
And what was the other side of the capital?
It was 24. So it's 24 to hit. Yes, so he only hits you once where he would normally hit you
We should try
twice.
to push more people off the cliff. We could have.
It's not too.
It's not too late.
We still have 2 more people. And 1 crit.
But do we really want to test them and go off?
We don't have to push them in the side of
Just
the
the wrong
wind.
direction.
Yeah.
We just push them in the wrong
Like,
direction.
absolutely profane. Like.
Pee in the
Where's the
wind.
latrine? Oh!
Pee in the wind. Okay, so now it is on.
Alright, this time I mean it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take another swing at this guy.
Alright.
Big old
Draw blood.
Don't you have the thing rage?
Well,
Or is it only
I
Do I
miss-
have advantage?
How?
what does it say? Oh, from
This is my friends have advantage. Dang it! I suck.
Do I have advantage? I wish. This guy's pretty tough. All right.
I keep staring at it compared
I'm
to
back!
Yeah. So you take a massive, just getting so impressed by Zuga's swing. You got
Friends
this.
have advantage.
only that type? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you take a swing, but you notice how easily Zuga crushed his last opponent, and you kind of look and awe at him, and you miss your attack. Oh yeah, so yeah, you may have like a similar thing when you have a bonus action where he can attack again. Can you attack as a
No,
bonus?
that's the
I have
friends.
the
That's
frenzy.
the other.
I'm using her thingy and my thingy at the same time.
Ah, okay, dang. Okay, so you took more of a support type of.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a
Gotcha.
support barbarian.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So
Sort of
it
support, yeah.
is on you.
Is anyone near the window right now?
Or like just like the edge. The guy that's been throwing knives is about 10 feet away from the edge. So it's about 20 feet all in, and he's halfway between you guys and the edge.
This is the closest one to the
How
edge.
big is it?
How close am I to him?
You are 10 feet away.
You want to tickle him until it fell?
Tickle, tickle.
I wanna
Don't
try
fall
to
to
make
your
laughter.
death. Tickle, tickle. Oh, I mean,
If he starts laughing 10 feet away, is there any conceivable way?
if you run over there and kick him while he's laughing, I
Why
mean,
did you take this spell?
you can try anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
if
think
you
the
roll
guy
well, you can
did
pull
a
it
lot
off.
of weight.
Okay. So for my spell move, a creature of my choice that I can see within range perceives everything as hilarious funny and falls into fits of laughter if the spell affects it. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, become incapacitated, and unable to stand for the duration. A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less is ineffective.
He's not very wise, this guy.
I'll figure this out.
What's yours? What do I have to beat to save for my wisdom? 15?
13.
Well, a 2 will not do that.
Yeah! Okay.
So he's like,
hilarious.
oh!
So now he's
Okay,
He like
yeah.
points at the bloody circle of his
Can
friend.
I-
He's like,
Can
oh
I use
shit!
my bonus action to like ram into him? Does that count, or is that not?
You can use your movement and a bonus action, but you're gonna have to roll really good athletics throw.
Oh, that's
So
not
roll
my
me-
talent at all.
Huh?
Oh, I would have done something like that on my turn. Oh, okay.
Next time.
He's gonna. It also says for this spell that he like. At the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. So
Yeah.
it's just like
So he's laughing for this turn.
he's laughing
until
until
like
he
that's the
saves
damage.
himself, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I have to
So-
beat that 13 eventually.
right. Okay, so
So he's high.
So roll athletics.
To like drop kick or something.
with my -2. It's not those drop kicks. It's kind of like nudge him in that direction.
It's like to grab him by the shoulder and be like, that's hilarious.
Does an 8. do you any good?
So you run up and poof, kick him in the stomach, and he stumbles back a few feet. But he just like looks at his stomach. And he's like, "Oh my god, you just kicked me!" And he just starts laughing, still laughing. But he does not. He's like about 2 feet away from the edge now, but he's not there yet.
Close enough. There's someone else who can finish my job for me.
All right. So now it is his turn. Oh yeah, you're right. It's Zuga's turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
No, you just went. You just went. So it. Yeah.
Zuga had 19.
Oh, that's right. It's the other guy's turn. I lied.
Because Kimo had 20.
Yeah. So they got 19. I know. Get high.
One piece of wood.
I know the order. I know the order now. He goes after the first round of knights.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's gonna
I
be
gotta-
so good.
I gotta make someone's day. I gotta make the magic happen right now. Make someone's day.
Oh my god.
They're gonna be boiling, searing lava hot for about 5 minutes. So we're gonna just for your own.
Oh, I thought that wasn't the game.
Uh,
Lava from the sky is going to sear.
I would like to throw 6 Totinos at three.
Yeah. I'm launching the pizza roll at the enemy. It's very live.
One of these right now, it'll do 1d4 of real life damage, so
Yeah.
be really careful. Let them sit here for like
I would
5
like
minutes.
to throw the searing hot, lava hot Totino directly into their mouth.
Ah!
I'm laughing, spitting out his bullet.
Yeah.
It's melting from inside now.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it my turn or?
It is not.
You just have to-
Okay.
So it is going to be this guy real quick.
Um,
So the guy that's close to you all is going to take a swing at this kind lady. So he's still with those 2 daggers, 2 swipes. Does a 17 hit. Oof, that does hit as well then. So he's going to 5. So he's going to 10 points of damage right in your perkinips, and he puts the knives back. And it is up to.
What kind of damage is that?
It's piercing
I have
damage.
resistance.
Okay, so it'll be 5. How do you have? Anyways, it's good. Good
When
for you.
I'm in rage, I have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Oh dang! So sticks 2 knives right in your shoulders and pulls them out, but the wounds start to close due to your deep, deep rage.
the missile stopped it.
Oh.
And then it is on. Now it's on you.
Yeah. So there is one mage. So this one is on the side of the cliff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one mage. So I'm going to attack that mage. I'm going to use my movement action there.
I think that's a
Yeah, so that's the one that.
Mages.
Oh yeah.
I
No,
think you're here.
yeah. You have enough movement. It's a pretty small tower top.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you go and attack him. You have your maul out again. It still has the blood of his friend. And
Yes.
yeah.
I'm going to crush him with the blood of his friend. So I got a 1, but because of her, I got more. It's too much. I got 6. 18?
It'll hit.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and roll your bonus if you're going to do it.
My bonus?
Because if you're going to attack twice, just go ahead and roll it.
Oh, my second attack?
Yeah, if you're going to do your extra attack,
Yes.
you just roll them both and see them both hit, and then you can roll damage at the same
Okay.
time.
So 19.
Yep, that'll
and
hit.
That's, okay. And then I'm going to do 2d6 plus 4. So 8 plus 7,
15?
15 plus 4, 19.
Alright, so 19 points of damage. You see, like, his arm kind of breaks, and
Dead?
no, he's this one has a little bit more life. He hasn't been as attacked.
Is this one?
This
the
is
mid one.
20. So his arm kind
This is
of breaks, and he still is holding his daggers very suspiciously. And now it is on our cleric.
Does anyone need healing?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Everybody, how's everybody doing?
Get some juice for anyone?
Y'all okay? Perfect.
Graffiti.
Having fun? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds then
Oof.
on a guy that the tail hits. And
Wow, April. You're such a badass.
Yeah, it's real.
No, you're not going to taste anything.
Yeah, I know, it's painful.
Oh, man.
okay, so it's this plus 5 to hit. 17.
Hits.
Okay, so 3d10 necrotic.
Ooh.
Wow.
Damn.
Nice.
That's 10, that's 1, and that's 1.
That is a hit.
Don't worry, I'll take care of this one. Don't you guys mind?
Oh, that's a 1.
Hmm.
That's a
9.
9.
So 8.
Yeah. So 18.
Something feels very strange about how that went down.
18 damage.
Alright, well, how do you want to do this?
Oh, nice. So he just starts withering from the inside out and like aging to a terrible age.
And so, kind of wounds start to expand from the other wounds that he's had, and he has his 2 daggers, and he kind of seems confused. His arms start kind of falling apart, and then Wexley says, "You chose poorly," and his face kind of ages away and crumbles to dust. And now it is his dear friend's turn. His friend who's like laughing at his friend as he's like fallen dead. Oh, fails his wisdom saving throw.
Did you skip my turn?
You're right after this guy.
Okay. I've only had 1 turn so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I did skip your
That's a
turn.
mess.
Go ahead and go now. So the guy that's laughing, you can go before the guy that's laughing because I may have missed it.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I'm still standing on the gurney.
Oh, that's
I'm still
right,
not
yeah.
far From him. I would like to shoot another arrow, and I forgot about my Colossus Slayer bonus, which means that I do an extra 1d8 if anything is like below its HP maximum.
Ooh.
So I should have done that last time, but I forgot.
Since I only did the maximum help, she was extra damage.
Dang.
That's not
So,
What are you searching for?
8.
Yes, this is 8.
Oh wait, no, I have to start with the.
Attack is this one.
Yeah.
good crack. Ooh,
16
that'll
plus
hit.
5.
That'll
You
hit.
know the reference? Okay, I was like, I don't know if you're laughing at me.
So then I
Well, so
do
probably
1.
Nice love
these.
Yeah, me too. That's a 6 plus 2, so that's 9 plus my Colossus Slayer thingy, which is another.
1d8, right?
Yeah, so it's a 9 plus 7.
How do you want to do this?
I did nothing. I gave advantage.
You did. You helped Mikkel slay some people pretty hard.
I shoot him with my arrow, and then I also, I'm at the edge. I like shove off the railing with the gurney, and I like skateboard him on my gurney. And I roll over his dead body with the gurney.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
So, the arrow goes in, he's staring at it like, well, he's like laughing still. And you can roll the gurney, roll over him with the gurney, and like skid the last tires, and there's kind of this streak of red behind him as he falls over the edge and falls to his death. So you guys are all at the top of the tower. How's that for a freaking punchline? So you're all at the top of the tower, and there are a few still from like what seems like some traffic, some griffins tied up at the very far end of the tower. So there's kind of like this other little end.
Is this my griffin?
Yeah. I double checked the griffin for anyone who would have cut a little bit the.
Yeah, these aren't the ones. These are the previous ones. So there's some griffins still. You guys have some transportation.
Should we explore more?
I think
I
if
don't know. Yeah, we've already lost.
Maybe
I
we
think
can
we should go
sleep.
find the delegates.
Can we sleep on the top of the tower?
Yeah, the rest would be great.
Yeah. It's like, camp out.
Everyone's like, I just want to nap so bad.
Just over the edge.
Can I just put my tent on top of the, the
I just
stairs?
fall asleep.
So
really
everybody
fast.
roll me a stealth roll.
What?
Everybody?
Wait, we just
We're
have the
doing
fight and.
Okay.
Wait, we're actually doing this? What
What
if
are
we
we
don't
doing?
actually agree to it?
And you don't roll and you fail.
Okay, that's a 20.
Stealth roll. Okay, 20.
Yeah, I'm stealthy. I'm not the one who gave us away.
11.
11.
Okay.
So how's the
Not great.
the access to come there? Is there stairs or is it a trap?
It's just really only the stairs in the center. Seems to be the only way in or out of this top platform.
Oh, griffins.
And there are just some griffins very far at the very other end. Like kind of way over here.
way over here. It's a circle.
Yeah.
It's not far.
Yeah, it's
over there.
like way over at the
Can we
far end.
rest while we're on the griffins?
You might need to land and then rest.
Yeah, I think we should take the griffin.
So who
right
failed
now.
stealth? You did?
We can come back later.
So you start hearing some footsteps coming up those stairs.
Yeah.
In the center.
I'm taking my javelin and running toward the griffins.
Yeah.
So you get your stuff. You start running towards the griffins. Everybody else.
Check that afterwards. If anything good to
Oh yeah, look.
All right. So you.
I'm
So-
running back and thinking.
Two of them have fallen off the edge. There's only one acolyte.
really
He's
quick.
been mashed.
But there's he's just laying on the ground, not hit by the gurney, besides organs and bones.
among
I
his
think his fingers.
among his mutilated bones. Good lord.
No,
You guys are so
There's one that
crazy.
just
Made of
aged
like
to
razor
death.
blades? Like, yeah.
Well, he got a maul, which is like this massive hammer, and just smashed him.
Yeah. the old guy, you know that. aged
All
to
right,
death.
give me a. I'm just gonna check see what you guys got. So you've rummaged the corpse. You find a small bottle. It just missed. It's like in one of his pockets that were like right where like the hammer line is. And you find a small bottle. It seems like it's filled with some white swirling kind of aerosol. Like it kind of like the top has actually been kind of pressed onto it. Like it has wax to like seal it on top. So go ahead and add this. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. So you have to figure that out. You have to identify it. So it's just a bottle of like kind of white air.
Air, like air, okay.
Can I look for the mage that aged to death?
Do you need me to actually give you the name? 'Cause
Let me just write it in my notes because I'm trying to look it up.
All right, so the stairs are coming up. You see some similar kind of shoulders with feathers on them, kind of starting to emerge. And you have already run over to the griffins. You were now running over the griffins. So everybody hops on the griffins. A few people double up, and you look over this valley. You see the arch, kind of the other smaller valley on the other side. You see kind of where the valley wides out to the other side where that manicore stuff was, and it is your path. So you get up in the air. You're over the tower. You see the priests like
I want to go to
staring
the
at you.
arch and just try to destroy it.
We've done it though.
Yeah, but I want to try to destroy it because now I know there's a bunch of fanatics that use that. So we'll just do like smash
Well,
my.
also the acolytes are in that direction.
Where's
The-
Alex? Are you not-
Actually, we're not sure.
No, there's nobody at the arch. We
Weird, go for
visited
it.
that before.
I lost.
Okay, we'll just go into the valley and discuss on the way.
Maybe let's fly through the arch.
No, that's not.
Yeah, way to die.
So what's the plan? So you guys are all in the griffins,
Yeah, we're going toward the
heading
arch.
across the valley.
We're going toward the arch.
I'm getting
So you're
a
in
real,
towards the
like,
arch.
serious black vibe from this arch.
Yeah, does anybody
I don't
follow
know
us?
how I feel about
Yeah,
this.
actually, now that you say that, yeah, that's creepy. So maybe we won't do that.
What?
Sirius Black.
Serious black?
Like Harry Potter when he dies. Or he like gets
Pushed
pushed
to the arch and he falls into like
The death.
nothingness and is dead forever.
Yeah, but we've been to the arch. Just we.
We didn't fly through it.
Yeah,
mean-
we looked around.
You looked around it. You didn't go through it.
We're going to destroy it anyway, so.
Are we?
Okay. So you all
That's Michael. I have a big mask. I want to.
land by the arch. Is that an agreement?
Are we
Team.
followed or not?
Sure.
Okay, so you took most of the griffins. There's only 4 up there, so you took all of them. So they would have to go up to the stable. So they're not getting
Behind
actually followed
Susan.
right now. Pardon me?
And me and my griffin.
Your griffin is Susan.
Okay.
Confirmed. Confirmed, Susan. Susan confirmed. All right. So you were at the arch. You're at the front of it, and So as you look through it, you see kind of right through the arch, like as the hollowed out stone. It's pointing directly at that kind of like other valley going in. You can't. You are still far enough. I'm sorry. I'm really fat.
I'm launching a
Um,
rock through the arch.
Yeah.
So you throw a rock through the arch. Roll perception.
Next time I'm launching a gun. It's just 7 plus, I guess 9.
The rock disappears.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm throwing a goblin to the arch.
A goblin? Where'd you get a goblin?
I don't know.
Throw my griffin through the
Susan?
Okay.
You jerk!
Okay.
Wow.
So do I
Wait.
see where the rug? So everybody has seen that, of course.
Yeah.
Do I see where the rug disappeared?
You did not roll well enough to see exactly what happened to it.
Okay.
You just saw that it
I
was
think,
gone.
are there like
sticks on the ground. I could.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a normal forest, but it's just kind of a big stone with this arch on top. It kind of seems to be almost carved out of the stone itself. It's really early in the morning. It's about 4 a.m. right now, so the sun is just starting to come through.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, because you guys were woken up in the middle of the night. So yeah, there's just kind of some forest like bits and like rocks and sticks and stuff on the ground.
The biggest thing I can find, and I put it in, but just halfway through.
Okay, so you get the biggest thing you can find. You put it in. Give me a perception check.
And then I like try and pull it back out. Is what my intention is there. 18 plus some modifier.
Yeah, it disappears.
Seems good. 18 plus 1. 19.
Okay, so something rips the stick out of your hand, and it seems to actually be hurtling towards that valley at a very, very fast pace.
It is.
I should go to the valley.
When you put
The
it-
rock
He
disappears.
doesn't have enough perception to see where it is.
Oh, okay.
I think we should go to the valley.
So I think this arch transports stuff to somewhere in the valley.
No. Should we ride our griffins through it, or should we just fly around it and down into the valley?
Wait.
Question.
I have a spell called Speak with Animals. Will that work on the griffin?
Yep.
Okay. I would like to cast this and
Yes!
ask my griffin,
Yeah.
what do you know about this arch?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, madam. Unfortunately, we've little experience here in the castle with the arch itself. Most of the knights only seem to worship it.
Let's destroy the arch.
This griffin seems super cool with the fact that he can suddenly understand and communicate.
Quite common when working with wizards. Quite common indeed.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
do you know where these...
My name is Sarah.
But it's actually Sarah. Or Susan, was
Mr.
it?
Sarah.
Are you talking to my griffin?
Yes, she is.
Mine is clearly the smartest.
Of course.
Mr. Susan,
You chose well.
do you happen to know where these priests have been taking their prisoners?
Well, most of them have been throwing them off the roof, but there were a few, I think, that we transported down into a valley, I believe.
Can you take us there?
Well, I believe this can take you there.
Like
He
I
kind
told
of
you
motions
so.
with his wing to the arch. However, it's a bit of a fast approach. You may want to be a little bit more careful in how you arrive.
And
It will take you to their front door.
Wherever we're going, he's going. So
Yeah.
they should be recommending.
Do we
stuff
want to go
enough.
to the front door?
Probably not.
No.
It depends on if you are a friend, of course.
Well, let's just fly there. Susan, would you...
She's the only one who can talk to
I don't
animals.
speak with animals.
I didn't know.
Yeah, except we have a sleepless night. We can all talk to animals if I think.
Yeah.
You're all a little sleepy, I see. He kind of laughs like you're pansies. Like, that's nice.
What?
Gryffindor.
Just getting my studious nerd.
Yeah.
Should we take a short rest here?
Ask him to co-protect as well.
I think that's a bite.
Susan, my darling,
Yes, ma'am.
would you protect us?
I'm not a warrior. I'm a transporter. I don't know if you've
If
seen.
we tied you up and something dangerous came towards you, would you shriek in fear?
I would chew through my rope, madame, and I would fly away as quickly as possible.
The sound of your flapping
Okay.
wings would be enough
So-
to wake me up.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
wonderful.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. We can move a little bit into the forest. Just sleep there and come back later.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
everyone agree?
Yeah,
We do
Thank you,
that.
Susan.
Alright, so you all pack up to the forest, a little bit out of the way, bringing your griffins with you.
Yes.
Tell them to rest, and you want to take a long rest? Because we can call it. It's 9:51.
Yes.
So,
we're taking turns.
I think it's about...
In case,
Yeah, so you have shifts, you get a long rest. So
And
everybody, your spell slots refill, your life refills, you are immortal, and that is the game for today.
Amazing.
Yeah.
can I add that to my character?
Yeah.
We didn't get too far.
You got out of the tower. You guys were in a little bit of a pickle there, but yeah, it was it was a long and gruesome battle out of that tower.
Where is the button for long rest?
Oh, you have to click on your...
Okay. Well, thank you all kind Twitch people, and thank you for the donation, Fallen Clown. Much obliged, and we will use it to buy lots of Christmas alcohol.
Yay!
You ain't gonna do that unusual stuff.
Yeah, I'm from home.
Russians.
All the bases attached.
Night, y'all.